welcome to another Monday Night Magic. I'm going to talk about some of the decks I've put together just for myself for fun over the years. Some of the ways I've tweaked them a little bit as time's gone on. And then maybe we'll try run a couple of them against each other if we feel up to it. Could be fun. Oh.
No, Ridley, go sit in there.
So, I'm going to have to go through the binder and reconstitute some of these because I pulled a lot of my better cards out of these decks for my binder challenge videos. So, yeah, I'm going to have to dig those back out, put them back in. But that'll give me an opportunity to talk about some of the stuff and some of the combos in the decks. So, it all works out. Grab the binder here.
Oh, if you want, this is the only mat I have if you want a mat down.
Nah, that's fine.
Okay.
Alright, let's flip this around so that we can look at cards instead of my face.
Sorry, I've got over here. My stuff is everywhere.
Yeah. I believe I had my one beta island in this deck. Because why not?
I don't know. Maybe I can see if anybody wants to poke one for different chats.
We have sinkholes. Those were definitely in the black deck. Where was that Dark Ritual? Was that in that black deck too? Might have been. I'm gonna have to take a quick look through here, see how many we've got. One. Don't pull on that tablecloth, Brinley. 2. 3. I might have replaced it too. Some of the cards, when I pulled them out, I replaced it with something else that I had handy. Oh, and there's 4. So it's good. It's good for Dark Rituals. I don't need to pull that one. We got a Demonic Tutor, so I don't need to pull that. I am going to need the Ancestral Recall and Time Walk. Artifacts, very popular. Chaos Orb, Time Vault, and Lotus, I believe. All things that are great fun in my main deck. The Berserk I do usually use in decks, but I don't think it was in the ones I'm using today. Regrowth. Do I have a regrowth in here? There's white cards.
Alright, well, whoever shows up, shows up. I don't know.
Where's the green?
I'm tired.
Section.
Did
I pull all the green cards out of here? Oh no, there is a regrowth. Okay. And there's the fast bound. Crop rotation.
I hope everyone is having a good night.
Yeah. Hope so too. Good old Jazam. Bit of a misfit in the deck, to be honest, but it's just too fun to leave out. Library of Alexandria, of course. Candelabra. Just goes too well with the Land Academy. Can't leave that away. And yeah, no, not running the power artifact in the current edition, but I am running Mishra's Factories. So I'll pull my 2 originals. These were in a different deck, the Urza's Lands, but they're not currently in this one. And I'll grab the original Mana Drain as well.
That looks cool.
It does look cool. I do like the even the Italian ones that I have still look like Mana Drains to me. The coloring definitely makes a difference between the English and the Italian, and I've got some extra bubbles on this one in the form of a little print dot there. Interesting. But yeah, I built this deck to run 3 of those because that's all I owned at the time. So there's that. Sometimes I've run 4 Spike. There's other things I like to throw in from time to time. The Eureka is... I'll pull it out for now because there's a deck in that box that runs Eurekas.
Hello, Ryan. Where's the Pokemon? Well, the Pokemon is Thursdays usually, and then everywhere in between.
Today we're doing Magic the Gathering.
Welcome in, Faro.
Yeah, this Mana Drain doesn't look...
Hey, Ryan.
As much like a Mana Drain. It is cool in its own way, but it's just not the same.
We are 12 subscribers from 2K. How exciting is that? I can't believe that. It's just crazy. Oh, there's Lucas.
Yep.
Here's your host of the night, or co-host.
Don't believe I'm currently running Maze of If in that version. I don't remember if I got Mana Vault. I think I might. I think I pulled out a extra polluted Delta, so I'll put in a Misty Rainforest to replace it. That should be close enough. And let's see if we're up to our full deck size here. 1,
do you want to move
2,
here?
3. This is, focus.
It's focusing on Lucas, not your hands.
Yeah.
So. There we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Is it?
21,
oh, it's the light above this.
23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 60 cards, but it's still missing a few because I usually run this deck up to... Did you get a God Pack?
We got a God Pack on Broly stream a while back at the Terrestrial Festival.
Yeah, that was over a month ago now.
Yeah.
When Terrestrial Festival had released, basically.
Just come out pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, this is 60 now. It's also missing a few other things. Like I noticed, again, here's 3 Force of Wills, which is a bit of a frustration because ordinarily this deck runs 4. Problem with that is that I pulled one out for the Alliances set. So now there's one that's not here. So where did I put it? I guess for now I can toss in a 4th Mana Drain to make up for that. And there's a reason that I usually go up to 62 cards or 63 cards, something like that. Because ordinarily, when I'm playing this deck, I don't know who I'm going to be playing it against. And certain people, like I said, I usually do deck building for my casual decks in Vintage format. Now, Vintage has some distinct advantages over any other format. It allows you to play cards from any set. There are certain cards which are restricted, which means you can only have 1 copy. But that still more allows you to do more with what you can use than Legacy, which you can use cards from any set, but most of the cards that are restricted are just outright banned. There's a couple that you can run 4 copies of. Oh, nice.
That'd be fun.
It would be fun. You never know what you're going to find in those things. Usually, I'd imagine you don't find much of anything of note, but occasionally
That would be fun to do at once.
you might find something real nice.
If you could get a storage locker for not too much, just to do it once, even.
Yeah.
It's just fun going through stuff.
Some people
messy it is.
Some people object to the Chaos Orb.
I object.
That's because it's a manual dexterity card and technically is banned in Vintage. But manual dexterity has never been a problem for anyone I'm playing with, so, you know, it's just a fun card that is not the most reliable removal, basically. It's nothing that's too broken anyway.
Nice.
We're also RWO Seal Pokemon.
He brought them in too.
Nice. I bet they did go fast. The other card that people sometimes object to is Collector's Edition. So, again, different play groups will allow it. Some won't, some will. But if I'm in a group that really has a strong objection to either of those cards, if I've got 62 cards in the deck, I can pull them, and the deck is still functional. So that's basically what I've been doing with this. So I'll just show you a little bit about what's in the deck and how I put it together. So you've got this one here is just sort of classic base blue because it's the most sort of competitive Vintage build I did, at least classically so. Here's some of my lands. Unique lands. Artifact acceleration. This is not a wide enough perspective to really get a deck.
There's a card shop close to us that has tables to play Magic, and it's always filled with a lot of people. Yeah, there's a few card shops around that.
Just fun other artifacts.
In next towns to us and stuff like that.
Acceleration, Mox type specifically.
Isn't there a group that play, but it's not a shop?
Strong blue cards. I'm not. Again, I'm not.
Wrong?
This is not staying.
Isabel?
In fields here at all. Lands. Always good to include a couple basics just for
Here, make your sister a couple eggs.
Safety's sake.
A couple eggs. Hello, Harris. Welcome in.
The Academy might be the single best value. Well, the value price on it has gone up. Back when I was still making this deck, this card was only around $25-$30. And you could get things like Lotus Petal and Mana Vault and things like that to go with it. Pretty cheap, too. Boxes are usually a little pricier. Oh, that's one of the cards that's missing. This card also, well, probably. Here's some of my dual lands. Those go nicely with the fetch lands, very nicely, in fact. Like I said, usually I'd run 2 Polluted Deltas, 2 Misty Rainforest, but I pulled a Polluted Delta recently out of this deck when I built the Onslaught set. So there's one there now to help cover off. This is not, I don't usually count this as a land just because it doesn't produce mana for my deck building purposes, but it's another fun card that can help control large threats. Again, I lost a Force of Will for the Alliances set. More mana artifacts. And the Memory Jar is just really great for digging through your deck to find stuff. It can combo with certain things as well. We'll get to that in a moment, I believe. Put the Time Spiral here, why not? I've only got a couple of white cards and a couple of green cards in the deck. My Mishra's Factories, I had 4th edition since I started playing. I was able to pick up a couple of the spring Antiquities ones when we first moved out to Alberta here. One of the old card shops that used to contribute to Scry Magazine was still around, although it was obviously going downhill at that point, and I found a couple of them in the binder for not too expensive. So I was glad to pick those up. Crucible of Worlds, another very fun combo piece. Where did I put the combo piece stuff? Probably up here. Crop rotation for green. Brainstorm, almost as good as Ancestral Recall. Better in some respects if you're trying to manipulate the top card of your deck. Tezzeret. Planeswalkers were still a fairly new thing for me, to be honest, when this stuff was coming out. So I do have a few in here, but not many. Put that with those. Here's my #1 Tinker target. Good old Blightsteel Colossus. Used to be Darksteel Colossus, but when they printed this, it's just pretty much a strict upgrade. For the most part, 9 times out of 10. Key. Academy Ruins, another fun. There are very few creatures in this deck. This is not in here as a creature mainly, but and there's the Tinker. So I'll put that up with Tezzeret. Sometimes they do the same thing. The Tinker is great for getting things back to, or that's, yeah. You know what else is not in here? That sometimes is sometimes I would run to go since is Divining Top the Counterbalance. It's not the most fun combo though, so that part sort of got worked out. Here's my other Planeswalker. I'll shift the artifact over. I only had 2 white cards. And again, either Brainstorm or Sensei's Divining Top can set you up with this up for Miracle. And it's just a good catch-all for being able to clear creatures that are indestructible, creatures that can't be targeted, whatever. If your opponent's just got a huge swarm, any of those problems getting a bit out of hand, this is a nice reset button for those. And like I said, it can be set up. And Balance can do largely the same thing too, with a bit of setup. And then I've included an Inkwell Leviathan just in case something happened to my Blightsteel Colossus and I needed a second, or if Shroud was more useful an ability than Indestructible. This could still win the game in 3 swings, typically, and Island Walk sometimes is relevant as well. So,
what is your favorite card out of these ones that you have?
What a random question.
I like random.
You know what I forgot to grab out of there? I didn't grab the Mnemonic Tutor for the black deck because I knew there was one, but I forgot that I also ran it in this deck. So, go back and grab that quickly. My favorite card. In what sense?
I don't know. Just what card you...
Just that...
Okay, fine. I'll break it down.
For my collection, for play, for like...
So art?
Art.
Art-wise?
I rarely think of art.
Okay, I think of art, so never mind. Forget about art then.
You know what else I forgot to grab was the Strip Mine. So yeah, I'm definitely... I grabbed the Howling... The Mistress Factory right beside it. I didn't grab the stupid Strip Mine.
Overall, maybe just your top 3 cards out of your... Doesn't have to put in any order.
My top 3 cards. Oh boy. Just a couple comments about the Strip Mine. This one has actually always been a favorite of mine. It's nice and thematic, although it is a strange commander deck you have built. You know what? I've built commander decks. I don't think of them as commander decks. I think of them as EDH decks. Elder Dragon Highlander decks. Because, I don't know, I used to play Highlander with friends. as a neat, distinctive format. Throwing the Elder Dragon element into it to have a leader that the deck was built around was a fun twist. But mainly I just play it as Highlander. And sometimes, if I've got other stuff to do, I never get around to even playing my commander. So, to be honest, I don't think of them as commander decks in that sense. So,
I'm sorry, just Brinley walking by singing.
yeah, she does that. I'm gonna break these up a little. Put the two white cards.
She had a late nap today, so
two
she's
different things.
full of energy.
She does that. What
the demonic tutor says killer. And eyes, hearts, eyes emojis.
Demonic Tutor is a great card because it lets you get anything you want. I love that, but it's not my favorite card. It's just very useful. This card is just so much fun. It's definitely in the runner-up for one of my favorites, just because it can deal with so many threats, and you don't see it very often. It's a lot of fun. I've owned 3 of these over the course of my career playing Magic. The first 2 were unlimited, and they had very similar printing errors on the back of the card, which I find interesting.
And what happened to those ones?
I traded them away at various points. I think I might have gotten my only unlimited dual land for one of them at one point. The values on these things have always fluctuated wildly.
Yeah.
And I've got friends who've been into various things. For sentimental reasons, just the amount of work I did in my younger days. This was my first ever piece of Power, so it's thematically, I like it. Remembering your ancestors, I think, is a good thing to do, and I always loved history. I think the art is all right too. It's a very cool and powerful card, and yeah, it's definitely up there for one of my favorites. I picked strawberries one summer in a field to get money to buy more packs of alliances after it came out. And after eventually completing my first alliances set, I was very happy with it. I enjoyed the set's flavor. There were some interesting and powerful cards in it, which have changed a little bit over the years as to which ones are considered powerful, but there always have been some. And I eventually traded that alliances set away with a couple of other odd rares to get this for my first piece of the Power 9. And I've had it ever since. So that was back in around 1997 I picked this up. So this is definitely one of my favorite cards for those reasons. I like the theme of Force of Will. This one was given to me actually as a wedding gift, I believe, for one of my friends. That's not a favorite in that sense.
It's a nice card, though.
It is a nice card, though. The Memory Jar. These are always fun. You can do a lot with them. But yeah. The combos in this deck largely run in a couple of directions. One is to find Tinker and use this to search up a big threat quickly. So if you can get this fast, there's enough quick artifacts in the deck that you can usually find one to sacrifice and go get the Blightsteel Colossus or the Inkwell Leviathan. If that's not going to work, you could always use it to tinker up the Crucible of Worlds or the Time Vault, one of the other combo pieces. They're good too. The Time Vault and the Voltaic Key. Nice little combo to give you infinite turns, which you can then find a way to win fairly straightforwardly. And the other way to do that is with a Planeswalker here, Tezzeret the Seeker. He can get you extra mana too if you want to go big in that sense. I used to run Brain Geyser in here type cards as a way to just make lots of mana, and but that was more an homage than a real strategy. to try to deck an opponent that way, because that's how Tolarian Academy was first used with cards like Time Spiral and such. When it first came out and it wasn't restricted, people ran 4 Tolarian Academies, 4 Time Spirals, 4 Stroke of Genius, and won things that way. But I love being able to combo the newer cards and the older cards. This was just, at the time, one of the best Planeswalkers there was. Probably isn't anymore. I think it's fallen off quite a bit. Snapcaster Mage, just a great way to go get one of your powerful cards and use it again. Love that.
Don't touch the cards, Brinley.
But one of the other classic combos to do with this deck was Crucible of Worlds.
These are daddies.
And depending on what you got to go with it. Yeah. Crucible of Worlds and Fast Bond would turn a strip mine or a wasteland, if your opponent had a lot of non-basics, into a way to wipe out all your opponent's land very quickly. You could also gain pretty much infinite life using these if you got the Zern Orb. Where did I put the Zern Orb? There it is. So that's another great combo piece with Crucible of the Worlds and or Fast Bond. But yeah, any of those with the strip mine can start to cause major headaches for your opponent as well. Honestly, like I said, one of these should be the 4th Force of Will. But those are there. And where possible, we did have a lot of fun opening Italian Legends. Mm-hmm. And so I do have 2 Italian Force of Wills. Not Force of Wills. Mana Drains. But I was glad to finally pick up an English one, just so... Yeah, here's what for people who don't read Italian. Oh yeah, the inking on these was much closer to sort of 4th edition. They darkened them up, and that goes for the art as well. So it does affect how the portrayal is.
I like the darker color though.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad, and like I say, it definitely looks more like a mana drain than the more recent printings.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like I say. It's supposed to be looking like a newspaper. The flavor text is kind of fun, but I do prefer the original. But, like I said, the deck, like most more classic vintage decks, would run 4 Force of Will instead, typically. Mystical Tutor, again, just a great way to get what you need. And this deck is just... it's got a few things to help keep you alive in the mid to longer term. Like I said, you got the one board right there. You got things like Chaos Orb and Maze of Ith to control some threats. You got ways to gain life.
What is your favorite vintage card out of these for flavor text?
For flavor text? Almost none of these have flavor text.
Well, I have no idea. I just know that you like flavor text.
True.
Again, I'm in it for the art.
Again, this is one of the key lands, but it does have good flavor text. The Academy worked with time until time ran out, which I think is just a fun little twist on the history of the game. Flavor text. What else has flavor text?
Oh, that one has some.
Yeah, nothing too
impressive.
Yeah. The Lotus Petal has always had a fun little twist to it. Hard to imagine, mused Hannah, stroking the petal. Such a lovely flower, inspiring such greed. Obviously an allusion to the flower the Lotus Petal comes from.
Dagger cards. Keep it casual, as my buddy Gary always says.
Yeah. And that's the thing.
Welcome in, Dagger.
This isn't a focused, streamlined deck. It can do a lot of fun things, and a lot of powerful things. But it's not made as a tournament deck. It's made to bring out and have fun. It's got a couple of extra cards. Like I said, if people object to Collector's Edition or things like Chaos Orb, I can pull them out and still have a very workable deck here.
So your definition of fun or my definition of fun?
My definition of fun. Anyway.
So the chaos and destruction and how quickly can I defeat you and crush your dreams. That
well,
kind of fun?
sometimes, depends.
My kind of fun is I just want to try and get a few rounds in and get some fun plays in.
Well, if the game's over quickly, then you get more rounds in.
That's not what I mean. I'm talking about in the game.
In any case, Mishra's Factories are surprisingly hardy as some creature defense because it's able to tap it to pump itself. Basically, it's a 3/3 on defense. And because they're lands until you need them to be, they dodge a lot of removal. If you're only going to be attacking with them, for example, opponent's sorcery speed removal is not going to work. They are vulnerable in other ways because it is a land, a creature, and an artifact. Any type of removal for those three types can take them out quite easily.
One that has no light?
I wish I had more of the seasons than just spring and fall or autumn, whatever.
Light bulb isn't working.
Okay.
Anyhow, so yeah, that's the overview of this particular deck. And again, just being able to play your good cards again is good fun. And some tutors, and some more tutors. And that's basically what this deck does. Get some quick mana out, build a board presence. You can even hardcast some of the bigger things if you need to. It doesn't have as many of the big mana sinks as it used to. Occasionally, to go with the sort of academy, library type theme, I would put in Tabernacle of Pendervale as well. That helps control people who are going wide with lots of creatures. And this deck usually doesn't have many creatures on the board anyway, so it's not much of a downside to put in. But it's another good card and a fun way to... Well, again, in a multiplayer, people will get annoyed with it more than in duels, I find. But yeah, it's a card that I sometimes would put in here. Now, to fight decks like this, I would typically have a couple of different ways I would go. One I showed off last time, and I think Angela had fun using this deck, was the Curd Apes and Lions and Wild Nectals. Just get some cheap beaters on the board and try and beat down quickly. Maybe finish off with like lightning bolts and stuff. And this is where I have a chance to break out some other old cards, mainly in the mana base. Because to make all the Curd Apes and Savannah Lion, not Savannah Lions, Curd Apes and what's the white lion called? It's been a while. Wild Nectal too. All those cards run smoothly. Where is that one?
You take it out?
Did I put? It should be in here.
Or did you just miss it?
Yeah, Loam Lion. Anyway, to make all these creatures that are based on land types work well, I've got mana base to do it, so that helps greatly. But the other strategy I had was to run the black deck. And so, honestly, if you're going to run a black deck, and you've got one, this isn't a great creature. It's never been a great... Well, initially, it could be a very efficient creature. But it still was a bit of a risk even then. Nowadays, it's just nostalgia blast. You play this, and everybody smiles at the table. Again, collector's edition issue. Sinkholes, very efficient. Land destruction. Tutor. And this deck was basically meant to wear things down quickly. So you've got creatures that have Undying and keep coming, that come back once. You've got 2-for-1s like Hint the Torak. You've got the land removal. You've got ways to pay life to get things. This was one of the more efficient creatures at a time, and this is why this card is a joke now. And again, even then, this was printed when? 2011? So yeah, that's 13, 14 years ago now. I forget what point in the year it was printed, but Shieldred, the Whispering One. Yeah, I think there's a Shieldred card that costs 4 as well that's also very popular at the moment. I'm sure there have been other black 4 drops that put it to shame. But just compare these two, right? For your 4 mana, you get a 5/5, and it deals you 1 damage during your upkeep. That's used to be a good rate. Now for your 4 mana, granted it has to be all black, that is a drawback. in most decks, not this one. You get your 5/5. It has trample, and whenever a source deals damage to it, that source's controller sacrifices that many permanents. That's a big, much more powerful ability. You got the Ice Quakes, Messengers. Tragic Slip was just a convenient little removal spell that was current at the time, and could deal with a lot of threats. Running a few of those. Again, a couple of the Moxes to accelerate and get your stuff out faster. Same thing with Dark Rituals. Technically, you're 2-for-1ing yourself when you do stuff like that. And then these you have to be careful with. They're situational. If you can get your hand empty first, depending on what's on the board in terms of creatures.
An unpleasant card.
Smallpox. It is. Each player loses one life,
cringe.
discards a card, sacrifices a creature, and then sacrifices a land. So
ouch.
It does get rid of a lot of permanents off the board.
That seems like a card that you would use if you just want to go and cause trouble with multiplayers.
Oh, in multiplayer, it's particularly brutal, but this is a deck that I made to try and be quick, efficient, and keep permanents and don't let people build up.
Hey,
so,
double A Poke Raid. Nice. Thank you. Welcome
thank
everybody
you very much. So yeah, this is another card for card advantage.
Welcome in. Doing a little bit of a vintage magic tonight.
Yeah.
Welcome in, everyone.
And so this deck was very much designed.
I'm really tired. If I just sounds like I'm not that excited, it's because I'm just exhausted. It's been a long day.
Designed to try to beat decks like this one here. And sometimes it could. This is, again, Diabolic Edict has been around since Tempest, I think. So this is
I love that name.
a version of that with an extra life loss, basically.
There, I'm just going to show off some emojis for members because they're awesome.
Just gonna find some gaps in the deck to put some of this stuff.
I know you mean. I almost had 30k steps. That's a lot. Hey, Chris, also welcome in.
Try and break this up before we shuffle.
I see. Okay, Pikmin Captain I already mentioned. I still love that name. I'm a big Pikmin fan. We got Zukun's in. Hey, Zukun. Hey, Crosby and Kelly. And oh wait, that one's back to before the raid. But welcome in, everybody. We appreciate you.
Sure do.
Salsa time.
So it's a great way to play with cards.
Do you have Potter Greed? Says Zaid.
Potter Greed. I don't know what that's referencing. What are we talking about?
Zaid Pot. Oh, you mean Pot Greed? Pot Greed? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's not. I remember Greed, which was a card from Legends in 4th edition, which cost 4, and you could pay a black and 2 life to draw a card.
That's a Yu-Gi-Oh card? Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't have Yu-Gi-Oh.
No, I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh. Never have.
We have a lot of different games that we play or have cards of, but that's not one.
So similar to the mana drain situation.
Another Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, I was given a Eureka from my brother one year for my birthday or something, and I got 2 more from the Italian Legends we were opening. So I've got 3 Eurekas, 2 Italian, 1 English, which I run in a different deck, which can be a lot of chaos and fun as well. This card is a lot of fun in multiplayer as well.
What are your favorite old cards? Isn't that the Einstein one?
This is one of the Einstein references.
No, the other one. I'm talking about the one where actually...
That Presence of the Master?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's more a control type card. It keeps your opponents from doing things. So it's not as fun a card to play with, but it's nice to throw in every once in a while. So, yeah.
Did the raid break your thought process?
Oh, well, that's typical. That's just normal. What happens at raids. And then I'll show off this deck a little bit here. This is a different type of thing entirely. Now, this deck is horrifically out of date because once upon a time, speaking of commander decks, as someone asked before, I had fun trying to build challenge decks that wouldn't necessarily be good, but just could I build a deck that was functional under those conditions? And I built a Karn Silver Golem deck. The artifact creature, back before Planeswalkers were a thing, from Urza's Saga. And I was able to find enough lands that tapped only for colorless, because you can't use any of the basic lands because they'll provide colored mana, to make it work. And that was one of the big constraints. At the time, you could only use artifacts because they were the only card type other than the lands which were colorless, generally speaking. So you had artifact creatures, regular artifacts, and lands, and that was all you could put in the deck. It was a challenge to build, and eventually got it to work. Later, they came out with Rise of the Eldrazi and the Eldrazi from the Zendikar block. This Ugin was a later addition, but the basic Eldrazi here really were what got it going. Now, I know that in a later set, since I took my hiatus, they'd made new Eldrazi cards, and they made them so that they're a lot cheaper and easier to play. But this was a fun deck I threw together to try to play colorless Eldrazi based, colorless mainly, but to make them work as well as I could, just using the cards I had available. So,
Oh, that's weird art.
Yes, it is. Cloudpost initially, when it was first printed in Mirrodin, was the only locust in the game. So you could run 4 of them, and that was it. And you tap it for 1 colorless for each locust in play. So depending how many copies you got, that's how many you got. Now, they've made other cards that work very, very well with it, at least at this point. There's probably more locusts since then that I just don't know about. Artisan of Kozilek was one of the more playable ones.
I like that art.
For a 9/10.
That's fun.
When you cast it, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So if you had an Eldrazi in your graveyard, it could bring that back as well. And Annihilator too, It the Betrays, big old opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent. Put that card onto the battlefield under your control, so you get to gain something. Whenever an opponent sacrifices, I should say. So yeah. This one can build up some advantage for you, especially with other Annihilators on the board. Ulamog, the Infinite Gyre, one of the original 3 mythic rare Eldrazi. 11 to cast.
That looks scary.
Yeah. When you cast it, destroy target permanent. Annihilator 4. It's indestructible, and when it's put into a graveyard from anywhere, its owner shuffles it back into the graveyard. So you're not going to be able to recur it with the Artisan, but that's okay. It does enough on its own. Then to help cast things more, I put in 4 of each Urza's land, because if you get the set out, you can tap 3 lands for 7 mana. That goes a long way to helping cast some of these big creatures. Here's the other second locust they printed back when they returned to the Mirrodin plane in what was this called? Mirrodin Besieged? Mirrodin Scars of Mirrodin? I forget which expansion this was. Anyways, this was the next locust they came out with. And when it enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life for each locust on the battlefield. So between these and Glimmer Post, you're up to 8 you could play. This one just taps for 1, doesn't matter.
I do like that art, though.
They also made Vesuva, which as it comes into play, you may choose a land in play. If you do, it comes into play tapped as a copy of the chosen land.
That is impressive how real that water looks.
Yeah, some of these artists do a really good job on things like water, for sure. But Vesuva was a game changer, too, because, again, you're up to 12 now locusts or cloud post type cards you could have in your deck. So, between the Glimmer Post, the Cloud Post, and the Vesuva. Oh, an expedition map to go get the land you want, whether that's getting your 3rd Urza's land or whether that's getting just another Cloud Post. Either way, it was really good.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, core tappers. I threw these in here to go with one of the artifact acceleration I put in.
I just mean art-wise.
But it's got other advantages as well. Dagger.
Dagger.
Yeah.
He's just saying hi over here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so able to manipulate charge counters is quite useful with a lot of things. So put a charge counter on target artifact or sacrifice it to put 2 charge counters right away. You can get a buff. There's again one of the alternate arts for Urza's Tower.
I like that.
I like this one too. I don't have an original. I've just got the Chronicles version. But there's a second of the mythics from the first Eldrazi Rising. Kozilek Butcher of Truth. This was the cheapest one at 10 to play, if you call that cheap. You got a 12/12, and when you cast it, draw 4 cards, so a major hand boost as well. And when it's put into a graveyard from anywhere, shuffle it back. More core tappers. Eldrazi Conscription, enchant a creature. Enchant a creature gets +10/+10, trample, and Annihilator 2. Yep. So those little core tappers, if you don't have anything better to do with them, can become huge and do some damage. Expedition maps.
That map art is nice.
This one is pretty.
That one is.
Oh, the map?
Yeah, I like the map.
Yeah, the map is neat. Nice. I like that one too. I use maps to find out where explorers have already been. Then I go the other way.
That's fun. I like
Relic
that.
Hunter. Trying to find new places. Anyway, Not of This World is interesting. As a tribal instant, this was one of the first cards I can remember that was instant.
That's a creepy art.
And colorless.
I don't like it.
Counter target spell or ability that targets a permanent you control, so it protects your stuff. And it costs 7 less to cast if it targets a spell or ability. If it targets a creature you control with power 7 or greater. So if it's targeting one of your Eldrazi, this thing's free. So it's nice little counter protection. The Everflowing Chalice is one of the main reasons those core tappers are in
pretty.
here.
I like that art.
So 0 to play, multi-kicker 2, so you can pay 2 as many times as you want. And it comes into play with a charge counter on it for each time it was kicked. And you tap it for 1 for each charge counter on it. So if you got one of these out, even at 0, say, on your first turn or second turn, and then you play the core tapper, you could sacrifice it right away to put 2 counters on this, or you could just wait, tap it to put a charge counter on it each turn to make it produce even more mana. And if someone was going to remove it, just sacrifice it, add 2 at that point. It's usually how I would play it. All is Dust, again, tribal colorless sorcery for the Eldrazi. Each player sacrifices all colored permanents he or she controls. And again, colorless Eldrazi spells cost 2 less to cast, so this works on things like the All is Dust and the counter spell as well.
We are 10 away from 2K.
Nice.
That's exciting.
Yep. We've been trying to hit 2K subscribers for a while. If we can, I've got a Lord of the Rings special edition, collector's edition, whatever they're called.
We gotta give notice, though.
Booster box that I want to open.
So even if we hit that tonight, we gotta give notice before we open.
Oh, absolutely! It'll be a special stream all of its own. To open that.
I'm excited.
I love Lord of the Rings, and I've been playing Magic since I was in my teens, so it combines 2 things that I like very much.
This is a set that brought us back into Magic.
It is. So yeah, the Everflowing Chalice, the posts, Lightning Greaves. This is just one of my favorite equipment ever printed, to be honest. Whether you want it in a commander deck or whether you want it just in a fun deck, it's just great. I mean, it's fairly cheap to throw on the board, and then every creature you play after that basically can have haste and attack when the turn comes in. And if you have a key creature that you want to protect, just giving it Shroud for free is good too. So nothing not to like about that one as far as I'm concerned. This is one of the few cards that, again, because most of the cards in here were fairly recent. The Vesuvas, I think, well, I had 2 different blocks for 2 different Mirrodin sets. But this is one that is a reach to an older day because it just fits the theme well. And again, it goes so nicely with the core tappers.
That's weird. It's like a Like a staff, but it's a hand?
But it's got a scale at the top, yeah, being held by a hand.
Weird.
So, Magistrate's Scepter. A lot of people don't remember this card, but it works nicely with, again, the core tappers because it uses charge counters. So, a 3 cost artifact, pay 4 and tap it to put a charge counter on it. And you can tap it and remove 3 charge counters to take another turn after this one. So, yeah, ordinarily it allows you to take an extra turn maybe once every 4 turns or so if you're putting all your, resources into it. But this deck has a lot of mana available. And with the core tappers, you can get 3 counters on this in a hurry to take an extra turn. Like, just saying. Again, the common Eldrazi from their first initial release, 8 to cost, was one of the easiest to play. Attacks each turn of Fable, Annihilator 2, 8 for 8. Yeah, as Eldrazi go, pretty vanilla, but still could do damage. Here's Urza's Power Plant. Again, one from Chronicles,
That's
sadly.
a little different art, but...
Different version of the power plant, melting down some ore. Artifact construction required immense resources.
I like this
So does
art better.
Eldrazi construction.
I like that art better.
Then here's a mine. Mines became common as cities during the days of the artificers. Little guy going on his cart through the entrance there. Again, another reason why Vintage is so great. You could just throw Sol Ring into a deck like this, or any other deck that can use the colorless mana. You'll notice there was no Sol Ring in that black deck I showed, because so few of the cards
Did you look in your room?
use colorless mana. They're mostly just straight black casting costs.
No? Okay, well, she's going downstairs.
Here's another mine art. The original printing of the Urza's lands, the mine, the tower, and the power plant, each had 4 arts in both Antiquities and Chronicles, and I really do like some of them.
Go look. Yeah,
There's All Is Dust, another Eldrazi conscription. There's the Urza's mine. This is the one I would probably be least interested in working in, just because those timbers holding up that much stone don't look stable to me. This looks like it'll fall at any time as they're mining out that layer, like the one in the background has over here, for example. There's the Cloud Post again, Lightning Greaves again. There's this mine just with the rope, a little bit of fraying. I've got an original of that one, and this one.
Go check downstairs.
Sponsor of Urlamog. I think I run one of this in my elf deck as well, just because it's a great sink for mana, and the elves are great at generating mana. So this can take people by surprise. 10 mana. Annihilator 1 is pretty meager, but it's got a big body, and you can pay 4 to put 2 tokens in play. You can pay 20 to cast any number of Eldrazi cards you own from outside the game without paying their mana costs. This is another reason I had multiple decks that had Eldrazi in them, because if I got up to the 20, all of a sudden I could go get my other Eldrazi from elsewhere and just pile up the board. Being able to play things from outside of the game is great fun. It was with Ring of Maroth, which wasn't very good. The Wishes from Judgment, also good in that regard. And that's another fun way to do it. Emrakul, the Eon's Torn. This is the biggest, baddest one. I think this was actually the promo card they used for the pre-release as well, if you went to that pre-release tournament. 15 for 15/15, cannot be countered. When you cast it, take an extra turn after this one. Flying, protection from colored spells. That's a lot. Annihilator 6, and when it's put into a graveyard again, it goes back in. So, some very powerful cards back in the day for Eldrazi. I've heard they saw more tournament success with their other release, which had cheaper Eldrazi, but again, just you take a more modern theme like Eldrazi and you throw in cards from the past, you can find ways to do some more fun stuff with it and make it a little easier in my experience. So, I'm not going to go through the Eureka deck today. It's got sort of a double combo thing going on. One is the Eureka's to put out massive creatures, and the other is a little nastier combo to help keep your opponent's lands under control. You're going to go find Thomas? Yeah, he is downstairs. Anyway, so like I said, this used to be sort of my university deck when I was at university, so I'd managed to get my hands on Library of Alexandria, Clarion Academy, and I had the Tabernacle at that time in here as well, and yeah, it was just very on brand, on point, and on theme, so... But yeah, I usually just sort of do stacks of similar types of cards like this, and then if I want to do a quick distribution, I can just do layers easily and quickly enough.
Ooh. Wow, we dropped down to 2 really fast.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. I never know what happens much with these. So just throw out some of these. More artifacts.
Thomas.
Get some more land out here.
Everly, Thomas, I need you. Okay, excuse me.
Walkers.
Bro, I love magic cards. Welcome in, Carter. I'm glad you enjoy it. Sorry, we got busy. Hi, how are you? Yes, keep your sister busy for a few minutes.
Thank you.
I like Thomas.
I know you like Thomas. She was yelling that she needs you. Yeah. Is that your deck?
This is one of my decks. Like I say, there's some twists and turns. If I really wanted to get it going for a competition or something, I would go get my Force of Will out of the set for alliances. But again, just for a fun game. Again, it's pretty unusual.
What does it do?
This deck has every color in it, but red, really. I mean, it's got a lot of everything. And
yeah, you just went through some of your favorite decks or whatever.
Yeah, I was just going through some of the cards. And these were all just examples of decks that I've built. This one is the most vintagey of the bunch. And it's got some fun combos, mana acceleration, unique ways to deal with things, some, counter magic, some defense in the way of Mishra's Factories, or balance, or other board wipes and stuff. If it needs to, it can also tinker up a huge
So Carter
threat.
says he just won a magic tournament. That's
oh,
exciting.
Nice.
Congratulations.
No, I haven't won many tournaments myself. I've gone in for a few, usually just pre-release tournaments, things like that. But I usually only get a couple of rounds in at best.
I'm still excited that I did better than you and your brother when we went to that one. I got lucky.
So yeah, that's sort of the idea. And again, just a fun way to throw in all your best cards into decks and use the stuff you have and enjoy it. And that's why I think vintage is the best formula.
The art is pretty fun too.
Yeah, I mean, well, the art is fun on any of these cards, really.
Yeah.
But it's just a way you can use what you have with the least restrictions, I find. So, do you want to try a game or two?
I suppose.
Do you want to try the
Gabriel?
the black
Gabriel
deck
or
that I
Gabriel?
made
I'm sorry,
to try
I
to
was always saying it. I love Magic the Gathering. I'm glad
control that
you love it. It's fun. It'll be fun. I just hate being clobbered by in being defeated before I could even get a chance to play.
So
but
yeah,
that's my luck.
We got the Curd Ape Nectal deck that you liked last time still here. If you want to use that. We've got that deck. I do want to showcase a couple of rounds with this, whether you use it or I use it. And then we have, I'll put it out here just in case, the Eldrazi deck, in case we want to try.
I have an unopened Lord of the Rings box. Which Lord of the Rings box? This one?
Yeah, we're sitting on one of these as well. I did have a box of set boosters, which we did open to try to fill some holes in the set.
I'd love to open another one of those too, though.
I wouldn't mind, but yeah, that's something that we're saving for a celebration stream for after we clear 2,000 subscribers.
And probably hold
So-
it for a while too. We want to make sure that we stay at like
Yeah, that it's stable
Yeah.
at 2,000 subscribers. But yeah, this is I picked this up over a year ago and have been waiting to dig into it because
it's gonna be fun.
I do like the theme very much.
It's gonna
And
be
I think
fun.
they did a good job on this particular product with the Hildebrand art, with the poster cards, with the Surge foils. They put a lot of neat different things into that
I'm
set.
glad that we found it before the price jumped.
Yes, me too. Anyway.
Aram, can you just put this over there on the counter or something? I don't know if Ridley will
So
come
I've got
up
my
with it.
primary vintagey themed vintage deck.
Okay.
I've got the black control, type deck. I've got the Eldrazi deck and the Kurt AP deck that you like from last stream. So,
Okay.
is there one in particular that you want to use?
I don't know, whichever one I can have fun with and not die immediately. As long as you're not using Chaos Orb as well, in whatever deck you were thinking of using.
Well, I mean, the easiest way to prevent that is you use the deck with the Chaos Orb.
Oh, okay. I will be back in a little bit. Okay, sounds good.
That can take a little thought to get used to, because there's a lot of unique cards in here. A lot of the cards in here are restricted, so I can only run one copy.
Okay.
So there's that. So why don't you try that one? And what should I try?
You want me to play the Chaos Orb deck?
If you want.
How hard is it to? You know my brain. I'm not the best at strategy. Gabriel is it Gabriel or Gabriel? I know different ways of saying it.
Favorite card
Probably
is
Gabriel.
Vampire Neonate. That sounds like a newer card that I'm not familiar with. I remember Vampire Nocturnus and Vampire Nighthawk and Vampire Singular Vampire and all kinds of vampires, but I haven't been keeping up on it, and they've definitely made them a bigger and bigger tribe over the years, that's for sure. When they first started out, vampires were few and far between. Baron Singular and Krovikan Vampire were big expansions to the theme.
I think I tried making a vampire deck at some point, but I don't know where my cards went. Yes, the second one, Gabriel. Okay, yeah. It's one of those names, right?
So yeah, I want to try showcasing the black deck at some point, but
Okay.
I won't use it for the first game because if it works, it does gum up the board quite a bit and keeps you from doing things.
It's fun when Thomas wants to play, because then I can kind of cheer him on and
Maybe. I don't know. If you want to go check with Thomas, I'm gonna try out.
keeping Brinley busy, so I think
I'm gonna try out the Eldrazi deck against it.
I don't know if
It's
I like
a little
this.
slower, but if it can get going, it can be strong stuff too.
All right.
But your deck should be faster.
I'm gonna use a mat just because I want to. Do you like planeswalkers?
I'm not a huge fan of Planeswalkers. I've only had a few that I really enjoyed.
You should have
playing
a
with.
mat too, just because of the table. I don't know why there's.
I don't know where the mat's gone.
Excuse me, I'm just adjusting things, guys. I'm gonna use a Pokemon mat.
Sure, why not?
I don't know.
The Garruk Wild Speaker from the first Planeswalkers in Lorwyn
Do you have the dice?
was the one I used the most. I know that a lot of people liked that first Jace Breland as well, but Garruk Wild Speaker was my favorite. The Liliana could be useful in something like a commander deck where it was a little slower because it had some strong abilities, but
Is this already shuffled and stuff? And
you should give it a little shuffle, but it's distributed.
okay.
So there's that. Since then, yeah, I used the odd one here and there. Like I said, that deck.
Eevee,
that,
yeah.
That deck that Angela's got has
Does
got,
it seem wrong that we have an
spocat.
EV mat for Magic?
I've heard of stranger things.
I just like having mats. I don't know where I haven't found my nice Pokemon one that I got from Temu. I don't know where that mat went.
So yeah,
Why not? Oh, now I'm not sure what why not's about. Maybe about the map.
Or about planeswalkers.
Yeah.
Because the game is designed where the player is supposed to be a planeswalker. So having cards that represent planeswalkers always seemed strange to me. It just created another unnecessary permanent type as far as I was concerned. And they just seemed clunky. I have used, like I said, and enjoyed some of them over the years. But not a ton, to be honest.
What's for me? Which ones are mine?
There's a pair.
Okay. I hate these ones because I can never find the numbers. There we go.
There we go. So
Gabriel says, okay, good opinion.
We'll see who starts. 12.
4.
So I'll start.
All right.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, weird. Oh, weird. This is such a bizarre hand.
Okay.
I don't know if I like this or not. Anyway, I'm starting, so Cloud Post, your turn.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just... looking.
Yep.
I painted custom sleeves. That sounds fun.
Custom sleeves would be a lot of fun. But even if, I would imagine you make a design and then get them printed, because to paint them all exactly the same would be a right pain. Even to just make a 60-card deck, even to make a 40-card deck.
Okay, if I have this one, that's probably the best one to play.
Depends.
I don't know. They don't really have anything.
There's any fast artifacts that give you more mana, they're usually good to play early.
No.
But yeah, that can be a nice defensive play. Gives you something you can block with. Or attack with, depending.
Don't forget to draw the start of your turn. Oh, yeah, I forgot to draw. Thank you, Ryan. Welcome back, Carter. I already played my land, so all right. Yes, I thank you, Ryan, for reminding me to draw.
My turn?
Yep.
Okay. Untap my Cloud Post. Play Nurse is mine. Your turn.
Okay. Alrighty, so I'm all right, because I don't know what the best thing to do is. My dad collects a lot. He gave me a lot of his cards and helps me sell them on eBay. Nice. So strip mine. It says tap to add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool.
Right, so you can tap it for 1, but it doesn't give you colored mana.
Okay.
Or you can tap it and sacrifice it to destroy any other land in play.
Okay.
So I shouldn't probably be telling you this, but things like these are particularly vulnerable to that, because the Urza's Lens, you need to have all 3 types in play.
Okay.
So if I have a mine, say 2 power plants and a tower,
okay,
then you could use that to get rid of one of them, and instead of producing their extra mana, they're all back down to just 1 each.
Okay.
Similarly with Cloud Post, the less of them there are in play, the less mana they produce.
So I should use it to destroy one of your lands?
At some point, you might want to wait and see if there's one that's particularly going to be troublesome.
You know Kyler the Human card? I don't know what that is. You know Kyler the Human card?
I do not. I know that human as a type, ever since, when did they start doing that? Was it Innistrad? It probably was before Innistrad, but that's when it started to become a big tribe, I think. Humans as a type, I always found a little bit strange because it's supposed to be fantasy themed.
So this one I need to tap so that I don't discard it. Is that
No, you can tap it for mana,
okay?
or you can tap and sacrifice it and
Okay.
discard it to use its other ability.
All right, so I just leave it if I'm not using it, and I can let you go.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an old box. What's an old box?
I don't know.
That one?
I don't know. The card boxes, maybe?
Yeah.
Who knows? This is so weird. I had this distributed, and I shuffled it, and it's just... I'm getting lots of duplicates here for some reason. Anyway, I'll bring out the power plant.
Okay.
Your turn.
All right. Oh, there. I want this one.
Yeah, that's a good one to have, but it doesn't do anything until you get artifacts on the board.
No, but it gives me the water. Mana.
If you have an artifact on the board.
Oh, it doesn't if I don't... What?
It gives you blue for each artifact you have.
Oh.
So if you have a bunch of artifacts in play, it gives you a bunch of blue.
Okay. I see.
This can become an artifact. So you could tap this to turn this into an artifact, and then you could get blue from it.
So do you know the Kyler card? Do you know what he's talking about?
I don't know.
No, he doesn't.
Card.
He does not know
the Kyler
the
card.
Kyler
Ring a
card.
bell to me.
All right, so
and again,
I can...
if it's anything that came out in the last 10 years, there's a low chance I've heard of it.
All right, so I could play an artifact. Okay. Again, because I don't know what I'm doing. I could throw this on the board.
Yep, it's a free artifact.
Okay, and all right. So where do I put the artifacts?
I just set it off to the side.
Okay.
You can use it whenever you feel like, basically.
Said hi. Hi back again. I did say hi when you came in.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I have that. I can use the
Ooh.
Okay, I'm trying to think of what I want to do here. I could... Oh. I don't know what to do. There's too many things going on with this deck.
Well, that's the thing. It is a busy deck. There's lots of things it can do.
Yeah.
So basically, you just got to pick something that you want to do, or find something that you want to do. And yeah.
All right. So if I played this one, because I can, I could go find something in there.
You can go search your deck for an instant or sorcery, I think, and put it on top of your deck so you'll have it there to draw next time.
All right. What do I want to go get? That is a question.
That's also an instant itself, I believe, so you could wait until
the
end of my turn to do it, which is probably...
Oh, that's probably the best idea. I also have... Yeah. All right. I'll I could play this one too. I could go draw 3 cards, right?
Yes, you could absolutely do.
So I gotta tap this to
get a blue.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna get 3 cards.
Okay.
Gabriel's back. Welcome back, Gabriel. Okay, well, I made a deck around Kyler, and it's tokenish deck. It makes them super big. It makes all my other humans super big. And when you can find out with Hardened Scales or Panharmonica.
Sounds like a card you can build around for sure.
Ooh.
That's 3? No, that's
yes.
3. Okay.
So
now maximum hand size is 7.
Oh crap. Okay, well here, well whatever. Just give me a second here.
Yep.
I can play this.
Okay.
During upkeep. Yeah, flip a coin.
Yep.
And
it can tap for 2 mana.
Okay, how many I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I have 7 now. Yeah. It can tap for 2 mana?
Yep.
I need some more color. These are just colorless?
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess... Oh, I can throw this out here, I guess. Fun. Yep. So I just played the Chaos Orb.
Right.
It's on my thing. So doesn't this give me like water for
each artifact you have in play?
So I could play.
So you could tap it for 3
If
next
I had
turn, and then tap some other lands.
All right, sounds good. He says it's really good, and when you pair it with Panharmonica or Hardened Scales, it's real good. That sounds like fun. I might have already read that. All right, it's your turn.
Okay. I will draw.
It's all good. We're good.
All right, I'm going to play the Tower. So I did get all 3. So I'm going to tap this for 3 mana, tap this for 2 mana, tap this for 2 mana, so that's 7, tap this for 1, that's 8. And I'm going to play Ulamog's Crusher. So I got my first Eldrazi on the table.
Can I stop that? Or is it too late to stop that?
It's a creature. It doesn't have haste or anything at this point. So it's just, it's on the board. You have a turn to deal with it, or else it'll attack you and do some damage.
What are my cards? These are my cards. It's all right. But I have nothing to... I just didn't know if...
She's always up for suggestions, I'm sure.
Yeah. Is it my turn?
Yes, it's your turn.
Oh, wait. No, I can't do it anymore because...
You tap the blue.
Yeah.
So. During your upkeep, you have to flip a coin for Mana Crypt.
I have no coin. What is Mana Crypt? That is what? During your upkeep, flip a coin. Opponent calls heads or tails. While coins in the air. If flip ends up in opponent's favor, Mana Crypt deals 3 damage to you. Just tap, add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool.
Right.
Alright.
So it's a way to get a lot of mana quickly.
Alright.
But every other turn it hurts you.
Hey, Kiddyo Game, how's it going? We're trying some of Papa Spocat's vintage decks. Alright, so I'm not really good at flipping.
Try not to land it on the cards if possible.
I'm not good at flipping.
Right. Tails. Oh, it's heads. So you don't take damage this
Woohoo!
turn.
So, okay. Do you have no instance? No, I do. I just wasn't able to play anything at that point because all my... Oh, do I have instance? No, I don't. Yeah, I do. But I wasn't able to play it at the time because... Oh, I need to draw. Alright. So... I have stuff I can do. Ooh. I need that one though. Just... Hold on a second. I didn't put a land down yet, did I?
No.
All right. I'll just throw this one down here.
Fun.
Chaos Orb, it may work if it's not indestructible.
Ulamog Crusher here is not indestructible, no.
So wait, Chaos Orb, you flip orb onto playing area from height of at least 1 foot. Chaos Orb must turn completely over at least once, or is discarded with no effect when Chaos Orb lands. Any cards in play that it touches are destroyed as its Chaos Orb. So now might be a good time to use that.
It might be.
All right.
Get rid of my big creature if you have good aim.
All right. I don't know if I have good aim. I don't like this.
You have to pay 1 to use the ability.
Pay 1. Fine. You mean like this?
No, I mean a mana.
Oh,
you gotta tap
a mana.
Land or your.
All right.
Or your Mana Crypt or something.
Does it matter? I guess it doesn't really matter which one I do. Yeah, okay, I'll tap this one to do it. I don't like this.
So basically what I do is I always try and get it to spin this way.
Okay.
And you gotta drop it from at least a foot. I just go right over top of the card and just sort of spin it
I don't like
and
this.
drop it.
I don't like
straight it
this.
down as I can. Okay.
I took out 3 cards.
Yep, you took out my Crusher, my Urza's Mine, and my Urza's Power Plant with that flip. This is now gone. And so are these.
Alrighty, woohoo! Alright.
You got anything else to do?
Oh, probably. Because this can give me how many mana?
2.
Give me 2?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. There's so many things. Oh, I could put this one. Or there's this one.
I would like to go to bed, but
Yes, I know.
He doesn't want to leave me alone.
Okay, you just go sit with her in the living room for us. Just give us a few minutes and then we'll come and deal. Decisions. I mean, I could probably play a few. How many? Okay. If I use all the options to get as much mana as possible, how much would that give me?
This is currently giving you 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 you've got left.
6. That does not give me many options. I probably need a creature, right?
Well, you've got your Mishra's Factory. You can even attack with that one as a creature.
Yeah.
Right, if you want.
I think I want to.
I suppose it's somewhat less frustrating to have a handful of land as opposed to have a hand of no land.
All right, so I'll do that to get my 2 waters.
Right.
And I need 3 more. 3 more. What else?
Okay, so 1, 2.
Okay, 1, 2.
And then one of your other ones.
All right, we'll play this guy.
You know, play that guy. Okay.
Play that guy. Tezzeret the Seeker.
So he comes into play with 4 loyalty counters on it.
Okay.
So 4, whatever.
Okay.
So you can use 1 ability per turn on a planeswalker,
Okay.
and it either adds or subtracts loyalty counters. If he goes to 0, he dies.
Okay.
So there's.
So the 3 things it does is +1 means what? Like.
To add 1 loyalty, you use the first ability.
Okay.
The second ability takes off an amount depending on what you do with it.
Okay.
And the other one takes off 5 to use.
Okay, so I can't do that on the first turn.
You can use a planeswalker the turn it comes into play, yes.
Okay, so I can
You can either use
untap up to 2 and then it gives me +1, but I only have 1.
one tapped one,
Yeah,
but you
so
can use that to get mana.
Okay.
Or you could use the -X to go get something from your deck, I believe.
Okay. Search your library. Covered mana cost X less. Okay. So -X is what?
Depends on the cost of the artifact, I think, is what it
Okay.
says, doesn't it?
So I just go find an artifact.
Yeah, and depending how much it costs will be how much loyalty it
Now,
takes
what
off.
artifact do I want then?
I know what I would go and get.
What do you go and get? Soul Ring?
If I'm trying to win, I would go for Time Vault.
Oh. See, I don't know what's in here. Ooh. There's a Time Vault.
Yep.
So I gotta shuffle this. All right.
Time Vault comes into play tapped, I believe.
Do I get to play it now? Or
Well, what does the ability say?
oh, sorry. I need to read. Search your library for an artifact with converted mana cost X or less and put it into play. Okay, yes, it does. So I have to take away 2.
Yes.
All right. And it comes in tapped.
Right.
All right. So I got to put it over here, though.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
My turn?
I guess it's your turn.
Okay, I'm going to tap my 2 remaining lands, draw a card. I will play Vesuva, Copying Cloud Post. And that's all I can do this turn.
Wants the TV on.
Okay, you can put it on, but put it on quietly. It's gotta be really quiet.
I would have had a play if I hadn't lost half my land last turn. Your turn.
All right, thank you.
Along with the creature.
Woohoo! Woohoo! I got that. I forgot to untap. Oops.
And flip your coin.
Oh, shoot. Where's that coin?
The Time Vault does not untap it normally. You have to skip a turn to untap that.
Oh. Sorry. You didn't call it. Give it back to me. All right.
I'm calling tails. I always call tails. Tails. Heads. Okay, so it doesn't hurt you.
I'm a horrible flipper.
It doesn't hurt you.
All right. So I gotta play stuff.
Yep.
You
played the island already, technically.
Yes. Ooh. Okay. No, wait. I'm confused. Okay, I don't know. I don't understand that one. Do you need a creature? Do I need a creature? I mean, why wouldn't I need a creature? Do I need a creature?
If you want to attack me, then yeah, you would need a
Yes.
creature.
Okay, hold on a second. So this gives me 2.
That's currently giving you 3 because you got 3 artifacts over there.
Okay, 3, 4. How many do I have altogether? Because my brain is
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
okay. So
And then you could actually technically get a little more.
okay. Well, I need 9 altogether, which includes 2 waters.
So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you tap,
So I gotta tap everything. All right. Well, let's do it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Go for it. I'm gonna put a big one out.
Right. And it's got Shroud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this thing, I can use that
once a turn. So
I can untap 2 artifacts?
Yes.
So I can do that. This one?
Yeah, it's an artifact.
All right. Boom. Doo-doo.
That loyalty.
And tap to gain. Ooh, tap to gain an additional turn after the current one?
Yep.
Oh. Ooh, okay, so I add what? And I can add one to here?
Yeah.
Ooh, guys, I get to add another turn.
Right. Which means you can then attack because with your creature you just played.
Yes. All right, so I got to tap it to play another turn?
Yes. If you're done doing anything you were going to do this turn.
I don't have anything else to do, though, can I? Is there? No?
Not really.
No.
It's up to it.
All right. Let's do that.
Okay. So untap all your stuff.
Woo!
Flip your coin again to see if you take damage again.
Woo! All right. Tails, you said?
Yeah, tails.
Oops.
It's heads.
I took out your dice. All right. Now I can. Ooh. Okay. I can play another land. Where do I put all these? I don't even know. All right. What else could I do? I don't have any more big creatures or anything. I don't know why I told you that. But
you don't need any more at this point.
All right, so I just attack you, I guess.
That would be a good start. So attack me for 7. Down to 13.
Woo! Just wondering what.
Anything else you're gonna play?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I can do. Well, I guess I can do this one, can't I?
Yes, you can.
Do I want to search for another?
No, you don't.
Just untap 2 artifacts.
Yeah.
Ooh, and I can keep going.
Yep.
Woohoo! Guys, I can keep going.
You got all the turns you want right now.
Okay.
Basically, because every turn you
And I
can do
tap.
that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's awesome. Oh.
Tails, you take 3.
Okay. Where the heck is the one? This is awesome. I like this. I like this deck. All right. So I gotta do this. Ooh. Got another land. There's so much land here.
Mm-hmm.
This, okay. And really, I just attack you.
Yep. I take another 7. I'm down to 6.
Oh, guys, this is awesome. All right. Untap artifact and take 1. Whatever, or add 1. All right.
Untap 2 artifacts.
And check. Well, whatever. But I only had 1 that was tapped. Oh, that's an artifact too. Sorry, I forgot that. Thanks, Kiddio. I am very, very poor at keeping track of things.
Tails, you take 3.
Oh my goodness, where's what was that? 5?
No, 7, 14. No.
Oh, this is. I don't like these dice. All right, now I gotta. Did I already do that? No, I didn't. I didn't do that yet. No, it all goes together. Ooh, I don't think I need that, but
Yeah, you've already got the game locked up, so you don't really need it.
but I can do it anyways.
Yes, you can. That doesn't provide mana.
Oh wait, what's the one?
This is a land that goes and gets other land. It's not a land that provides mana
this one?
itself.
All right. I gotta tap to attack, or
No, you don't. You tap, the creature. Attack me for 7. I've got no defense. I take a 7. I'm dead.
okay. Woohoo! Woohoo! I won! I defeated him. I'm listening to y'all while I sort bulk. I defeated the master.
And I even got an Eldrazi in play before you did it, but
Chaos Orb
didn't matter.
Chaos Orb is awesome.
It can be.
It's awesome. This I think helped too
It
when
can
I
be
played this.
disappointing if it bounces badly and ends up hitting your own stuff. But
so, I like this card.
Yeah.
This card is awesome.
That was one of the few cards that I went and sought out specifically for vintage decks, because I knew that it could be very strong with the right setup.
It feels good to beat you. Doesn't matter how many times you beat me. If I can just beat you once in a while, it feels good.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome.
Incidentally, I only drew 2 cards all game that weren't land.
Oh, wow.
Well,
see, I had this thing that I couldn't play because I had none of that. But
you could get the green as soon as you got this, you had the ability.
And then
to
I
get
had
green.
this thing.
Yeah, but you could play it any time you wanted.
Yeah, but I didn't really need it for anything, I don't think.
Right, but it's a failsafe, right? If I did something that was going to mess up your...
And then I got that mana drain.
Yeah.
So, but once I got... That's awesome. Oh, this is so much fun. This is my favorite deck.
It's one of my favorites, too. For a number of reasons. It's got a lot of fun cards in it, and it can do some very crazy things. So.
Oh, that was fun. That was fun.
You want to try another game?
Oh, well, I would, but Thomas is keeping Brinley content there, and
because I'd like to get that black deck into the mix. At least once. Whether you want to use it or I use it or whatever, but
I can. Well, we can. If you want to try and let Thomas play with you.
Thomas, do you want to try a game?
It's quite late, but here, I'll let you put that away. I'll go see if he wants to, and then I can try and get Brinley to bed. That was fun. Oof.
You want to play, Thomas, or not?
Something that I would like to do sometime is play
Are you gonna want to switch so you can see the
Pokemon
chat, or
card game match.
are you gonna sync the iPad? But then you'll see his hand. I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess it doesn't really matter because he's still learning, right?
I
Just
guess.
take the iPad so you can see the chat. No, you can take that, Thomas. It's fine. Say good night, Dad.
Good night, Brinley.
Say good night, chat.
So I'm going to try this big black deck here. Or do you want to try it?
What are the options?
Well, there's the Colorless Eldrazi deck that I was just using. It didn't go so well. But it has potential. Then there's just sort of quick, efficient creatures. And then there's...
So this one is basically just like quantity over quality.
Well, it's not quantity in the sense of making a lot of creature tokens or anything, but it's quick creatures that can come out and be aggressive and attack with quickly. Whereas this one is crazy combos and counter spells and stuff. It can be quite quick too. But your mom just trounced me with it, so I was going to set it aside and try the black deck, unless you want to use it or one of these others.
What kind of cards are in there?
In this deck, you've got cards that destroy your opponent's lands. You've got creatures that give you card advantage. You've got, basically, it's again a fairly efficient beatdown creature type deck. Not as quick as this one, but with more things to disrupt what your opponent's doing. So to kill their land or make them discard cards or draw you more cards, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You have a preference?
Well, there is something that I am wondering.
What's that?
And that is, like, when can we, like, play, like, a match of, like, Pokemon cards? Like, play a Pokemon card match?
We could try that sometime, but usually on a Pokemon stream, not on a Magic stream. Usually we do Pokemon streams on Thursdays.
If you know what, if he wants to just go to bed, I can take over now that Brinley's in bed.
It's up to you. He was asking about playing with Pokemon cards.
Oh yeah, we'll do that on Thursday. We can, if you want, we can play some Pokemon decks.
But, like, I was thinking of, like, using a deck made up of Pokemon cards that I have. But I might need some help putting one that would...
Or maybe we can just do a pop-up stream another day for trying to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could try that. I could take a look at your deck and give you some pointers.
All right. Which one am I playing?
Which one do you want to play? Same one again? You got the quick creatures. You got the one I was using.
I don't know which one. I don't know which one would you recommend.
It's hard to say. I mean, you just got a taste of what this deck can do.
Yeah.
So, I built this deck to try to compete with this deck.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always successful. This deck is a little bit quicker,
Mm-hmm.
but once this deck gets going, it can disrupt that a lot more.
That I don't know. This one was fun, but maybe I'll just do this one.
You want to try that one again?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
that's
that
fine.
one was fun, but that was pretty. Oh, that was fun. I can see why you like it.
Yeah.
All right.
And it gives me an excuse to use a lot of the
Are we
like,
rolling again to see who goes first, or
a lot of the fancy cards that I don't use a lot of other places. I'll put it that way. I got a 5. You got a 2. I'll start.
I'm awesome at that.
1. 2,
Oh,
3, 4,
Excuse me.
6, 7. Interesting. All right. I'll start. I'll play a swamp. I'll tap it. I'll play a dark ritual. That gives me 3 to use this turn. I'll play a Geralf's Messenger. It comes into play tapped. And when it comes into play, you lose 2 life.
I don't like you. My turn?
Your turn. That would be 18, not 12.
I don't know what I was doing. I have no idea why I put it on a 2. My brain is not working very good. All right, so I guess I'll put that out. And I will play. I would play. There's probably something else I probably could have used. I don't know. I'll throw this guy out.
Ape. Okay.
Yep. Your turn, obviously. Can't do anything else. So does that get +1, +2 for every forest, or just
no? Just
okay.
As long as you have a forest in play.
Okay.
Sinkhole. I'll get rid of your forest.
You're not allowed to do that.
I will attack you for 3.
I don't like where this is going. Oh, how much? No, I can't stop you. Oh, shoot. I'm on, what, 5?
Yeah. 15.
Where'd it go? This sucks. All right. My turn.
Your turn.
This is going to take forever before I can do anything. All right. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm kind of wondering if I should probably hold on and not attack right now because, well,
It's up to you.
I don't know. I mean, I could do 2 damage to you, I guess. What would you do? Or do I?
I have no blockers at the moment, so I'd probably attack with the ape unless you want to try and double block this so you can kill it.
That's kind of what I was thinking, but you could get rid of this, and then I wouldn't be able to do that at all. So.
Well, no, you could still block. I mean, it's just these creatures are both going to get stronger if you get a forest, right? So you might want to, if you think you've got the time to wait and try and get a forest to make them better, then either of them could trade 1 for 1 for this with this guy.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll just hold off for a bit and I'll let you go because I'm just going to see. Because I don't know. How's everyone doing? I hope you're enjoying the stream.
I'm going to play a land. I'm going to attack this guy.
You have something. You played a land. You didn't throw anything out. You're trying to draw me into something. I feel like you're trying to draw me into something. Because why else would you do that? I know you. The way you're sitting there all like, I don't know what to do now. You might have something bigger in there. Or something you can do to destroy stuff when I block. Or something. I don't like this. Oh my goodness. Whatever. I'll block you with these two. Do I
Block them with both?
I guess.
Okay, so both of those die, and this dies.
They both die? Why do they both die?
Because they're 1/1s.
No, but that makes them +1/+2 as long. Oh, I don't
If
control.
you don't have a forest.
But this gets plus. Oh, I don't have a forest.
Ah,
Oh, well, there we go. So you don't need to have a trick up your sleeve. You just need me not to read and understand.
and then when this goes to the graveyard, it has Undying, so it comes back with a.
Why didn't you tell me that?
If it comes back with a +1/+1 counter on it.
Then why did I block it and destroy it?
So that it wouldn't damage you directly?
No, if I knew that it would come back, I wouldn't have done that.
Okay, well then fine. You're just gonna take the 3 instead?
Yes.
Okay.
How do I destroy that thing?
The usual way you destroy creatures. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you.
It's the only way I know how to destroy creatures is to.
No, I'll play Smallpox.
I don't like you.
So, each player loses 1 life. 19, you go down to 11.
I don't like you.
Each player discards a card.
I don't know which one to do. How do I know which one to do? Whatever. I'll throw a land.
Okay.
I don't probably not the best one to throw it. I don't care.
Probably not, because that could get you your forest.
Whatever.
Okay. Each player sacrifices a creature. Mine comes back. +1/+1 counter on it.
I don't like you.
And deals you 2 more damage.
Can I just like forfeit now?
And each player sacrifices a land. And then it's done.
Guys, I picked the wrong deck.
Your turn.
I don't know. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done. I can't do this. I don't like that. I forfeit. I just can't. Because like I didn't read. I don't read. I'm horrible.
Okay.
You just keep destroying my land, and I don't like it. I couldn't do anything. You kept destroying my land.
This could go get you another Taiga, which could which would make this bigger, and you could bring the 8 back. You know.
But I didn't have anything to get rid of that thing because you just keep bringing it back.
It only comes back the once, because then it has a counter on it.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
The next time it dies, it doesn't come back.
Well, I didn't know that. See, my lack of knowledge sucks.
Well, that's, you know.
Yeah. So, you know how all this stuff works. You have the advantage.
Somewhat. Yes.
But I don't care. I still beat you, and I crushed you big time in the first game.
True.
So I'll take that. Ugh. Alrighty. So I think I'm good to end on that because I don't want you to defeat me anymore.
All right.
Because you probably will. I like that other deck. You're not allowed to play it against me ever. This one I don't like it either. But I don't know. So we can bring this back down. What are your guys' thoughts on those games? Clearly, I am the student, and I know very little.
So we had the black deck 1/1.
I'll put it on you.
And we had my vintage deck 1/1. So technically, we could then play those two against each other to see which of these 4 decks comes out overall on top. But you don't want to play anymore, so that's.
I think we should. Well, I mean,
there.
it's almost 11, so I'm pretty exhausted. I forgot to give Lucas his medicine tonight. The dog. Did Isabel ever feed it?
I don't know.
I don't know if she fed the dog. Ugh, and she's in bed now. Anyways, what do you guys think? Did you enjoy the stream? Gabriel's back again. Welcome back again.
So yeah, I don't know. To me, Vintage offers the best because you can use whatever you feel like, and so that opens up a wider possibility for combos. That opens up a wider creativity for deck building, and again, you can do some very strong and powerful things, but you don't have to. I mean, you can play. It just lets you throw flavorful cards into other decks that otherwise wouldn't be able to.
Oh, come on.
And again, mostly playing for fun. And as long as you don't mind getting pasted once in a while, it's quick games can let you get more games in. That's my way I look at it.
If I can defeat you and crush you once in a while, then it's all the extra losses that I take usually. I don't mind so much.
Right. And again, that depends on what's going on to an extent as well.
Yeah. So I think we should find somebody to go and bug. I wonder who is on tonight. What else are we doing this week? I think for Pokemon Day, I think we're gonna go for this, aren't we? This is what we're leaning towards on Thursday.
Which one? In here digging. Diggity diggity. I suppose we could. That's what you're anxious to dig into next?
I am. I want to dig into this. So this
we
was
got a box of mini tins.
Yeah.
For the most recent set. Or is there one that's released since then now?
Not yet.
Okay.
The Journey Together comes out. Is it this month sometime?
Not sure.
The pre-release for it, which would have been fun to go to, you're working on all the pre-releases.
Right.
Every single time. So that's what we're going to be opening on Thursday. And then we're going to start rebuilding our mini tin
Maybe a
giveaways.
poster collection if we feel
Yeah,
so.
we might go do the poster collection and get over with the Prismatic Evolutions.
Who knows?
I don't know if our Walmart's getting Pokemon anymore. They haven't been
I don't know.
putting anything in it recently except for just like those battle decks and stuff like that. So, anyways, who's excited about that? I am. We traded some big cards for our Prismatic Evolution stuff.
Yep.
But hopefully we get something nice out of it.
But it was interesting. We didn't expect to find any of the mini thins.
No, we were trying to decide how we were going to spend the last little bit.
We had enough trade-in material to get about 5 or so mini tins, was it?
Yeah.
And Angela was looking at them, trying to pick which 5. But we could just get the whole thing if we spent a little bit.
More money, yeah.
A little bit more money. I think actually we might have been. We had enough to cover part of a 6th tin, maybe, or something like that. So. Yeah.
What happened to the Magic the Gathering? We just finished up. We played 2 matches. I beat spocat with the first one.
So we're just talking about what our plan is for the Thursday stream. So yeah.
And Thursday's Pokemon Day. So
the Kurt Ape Rancor Wild Nectal, deck got beat by the deck with the land destruction and smallpox and Geralf's messengers.
I just gave up because I don't like dragging games out if I know what the end is going to be.
And the more classic blue deck, she managed to get the Tezzeret the Seeker out, which could then tutor up the Time Vault and take endless turns, which basically she also got a big fat creature in play and just stomped me because even though I'd gotten an Eldrazi in play first, she also had the Chaos Orb to clear that and half my lands before she started stomping me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a pretty resounding victory for this. Pretty resounding victory for the black deck, the Eldrazi deck, and the Kurt Ape Wild Nektal type deck both lost. But that's okay. It's all for fun.
Yeah.
In terms of favorite cards, there's one I forgot
We
to
did
mention,
pick up another
which
subscriber,
is
so
definitely one of
we're
my favorites.
8 subs from 2K.
That would be fun.
That is crazy. So maybe next Monday we can actually open that.
Who knows? Maybe. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite cards. Even though by today's standards it's a little too slow, but back in the day or in certain formats, it's still a lot of fun. It's just a classic. It's a way to get a lot of incremental card advantage and just
I found
build up
somebody
a
we can
dominating
go.
lead that way. And I just like the historical tie connections too. The Library of Alexandria was a very influential place
Hey Johnny,
in the
welcome in.
Mediterranean back in the Age of Antiquity, built after the conquest of Alexander the Great, who of Egypt, and was a great storehouse of learning for that part of the world. For
What have we been up
many
to
years.
today? Well, Papa Spocat was working.
Yeah, I was working, and now I'm off, and I was going over some of my vintage type decks, or decks that I just build using vintage rules because it allows me the most freedom.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important element to enjoying your cards and being able to play. So I'm assuming the camera's still on me.
It is on you.
There you go.
So
I'm trying to get to this show. Angela,
do you guys have any favorite sports?
use Time Vault and Inkwell Leviathan to trounce me quite handily.
We like hockey.
I do like hockey. I haven't followed it as much since they stopped carrying it for free on the public broadcasters. And even I used to listen to it more often on radio than watch the games, actually. But even there, they don't carry it as much as they used to. So I've lost touch with our teams.
Our local junior team made it to the next round.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Yeah,
the kids like going to see the games in town. I think part of that is just they like the outing and a chance to get some snacks.
The snacks at the canteen, yeah.
So
alrighty. It is pretty late. We're exhausted. It's been a long day. But do we like any NFL teams? We don't really follow football much.
No, not much. What little football I follow is usually the CFL, so that's
Canadian Football League,
which is a little different.
Which we haven't really followed that closely in a while.
Not really.
No. So
I used to play rugby in high school, which is not football either. But one time I remember we took on we were challenged by an intramural group that would play football at lunch hour, just not as an official school team.
Mm-hmm.
But they challenged our school's rugby team to come out and play a game of football. And we did quite well. They weren't expecting all the lateral passes we were using.
I watch wrestling a lot. Yeah, we haven't followed that much either.
Yeah.
I'm a Houston Rockets fan in basketball, and they won today. Well, that's exciting.
I don't know
we
if
have
this
one team. Canada has one basketball team, and they won once, right? Didn't they finally win once?
We used to have two basketball teams, but yeah, the Vancouver Grizzlies didn't last long.
No, but the Toronto Raptors.
They try hard.
They won 1 year.
Did they?
I think so.
I don't know how far they got, but
they won 1 year. I just can't remember when. It was a few years ago, I think.
Yeah, this is a card that, again, from back years ago now. It's horribly out of date, I'm sure, but it was made a lot of impact when it first came out, and I still think it fits that sort of smallpox theme deck very well.
Alrighty, so what else we got going on?
I don't know. And then again, the card that makes everybody smile when it hits the ground, just for nostalgia's sake.
That's all right. It's a little blurry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
It is a fun.
What's the weather down here? It's getting colder. We had some nice weather. Snow was melting.
We had snow over the last couple of days, and it made it rather messy.
Yeah.
But it's not super cold, but it did get down below freezing again. So
Yeah.
I expect we'll still be seeing snow right through March and into April easily. That's pretty typical for out here.
So, anyways, I think we're gonna call it a night. Thursday again is our magic night. We might do some pop up.
No, Thursdays are
Pokemon night. Sorry, or Pokemon day. We might do some pop up streams to finish that Harry Potter castle sometime this week.
Yeah, that would be good.
So do we have animals? We have animals. Yes. We have guinea pigs and a dog. Anyways, we do have to call it a night though. But yeah, we'll have our Pokemon day on Thursday. Opening prismatic evolutions and pop-up streams will happen here and there probably.
Yeah, you're in there.
So yep. I hope
my first
use some of the best videos. Well, I'm glad you liked them.
My first deck that I used to do heavily with the dual lands was, again, Curd Apes and Tegas.
Okay.
The sort of green-red. When I got that Ancestral Recall, I would then incorporate a splash of blue. So I had Earnhanded Djinns, I had a couple Birds of Paradise that I could use to cast it. I was able to get a German volcanic island, which went in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
This was before fetch lands existed, by the way. So it was tricky to get that splash of blue, but basically I made that red-green deck a red-green-blue deck just so I could splash Ancestral Recall. Like, I don't think I had any other blue cards in the deck, but I just wanted it in there. And yeah, that was sort of the start of my affection and for dual lands and how useful they were as a deck building tool, which is another reason I think Vintage is wonderful. Although there are lots of other ways to get multicolored mana nowadays, and even then City of Brass and things like that were around. So, but that just brought back some memories for me, seeing the Curd Ape sitting here and thinking of my first Power 9 card. And some of the shenanigans I would get up to with it. Anyhow, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
I like to share.
No, that's fine.
All over the place.
Yeah, no, that's fine. All right, guys, I hope you had a great night. Please stick around for the raid. We are going and raiding. Who did I say we're going to raid? Travman TV. I have not been on a stream in a while. So let's go over there, say spocat raid, hit the like button, and hang out. See if you like them. If you do, hit the subscribe button. And
yeah. And keep an eye on the channel
Pokemon,
if you want to see us open this thing.
Yes.
Hopefully it'll be coming up in the not too distant
Maybe
future.
on Monday if we get the last 8 subscribers and follow next Monday. That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. We love Lord of the Rings. So guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Please stick around for the raid. I have redirects set up. And again, say spocat raid when you go over there, because that's what our name stands for. And again, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. And we'll see you guys soon, hopefully. So bye for now.
Cheerio.
I'm trying to wave and I'm behind the camera. Okay, have a good night, everyone. Appreciate you. See you soon.
Have a good night.